when I had my transition, it didn't happen until I was 25.
Wow.
And when I say I was out there with the best of them, I was. But what changed was my story. I used to tell this to the young privates that came to my unit when I was in the military. I was in a barbershop getting a haircut, and the dude that was in the chair, his name was Russell. Russell was 35. Russell was a veteran from the Marines, and he was struggling in life. And the conversation he was having with the barber was like, man, I should have stayed in. And for some reason, that stuck with me. Now, mind you, I'm out there with the best of them. But when I heard that conversation, as soon as I was finished with my cut, I went back to the National Guard unit I was assigned to, put in my paperwork to go back into the military full time. And once I made that decision, I cleaned myself up.
This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn, my goodness, and we pass it along. Tune in and listen to us every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. as we give you our story with the Lively Art of Conversation. Hey, and we're back. You know who it is. It is your boy, the cultural enthusiast, the community facilitator, Dr. Rodney Duckett, back with another Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn, my goodness, we pass it along. Got another phenomenal show for you here today. I had a little stutter on that, a little phenomenal. That might be my Red Man days back in Newark, New Jersey, running around, running out with. let me stop saying that for Red Man call me out. Like, I never hang out with a guy that corny. I got a special guest, and if you didn't pick it up by Red Man just yet, you're gonna pick it up here in just a little bit. But I appreciate everybody for everything that you do with the Lively Art of Conversation. And without my underwriters that are out there, this would not be a show. So before we even jump into this show, I like to go ahead and take this moment right now to sit down and tell you about my underwriters.
This is Lavina Sabree with So Natural Catering and Bomb A Lemonade, and you're listening to the Lively Art of Conversation.
Hello. This is Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation. As we live, we learn, we earn, and we pass that wisdom along. Join us every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. as we bring to you our story. You bring your story, we give you our story, and our story is how we engage in our community. Everybody has a story, and we're waiting to hear your story. So if you're interested, reach out to us at livelyartofconversation@gmail.com.
Looking to elevate your brand or capture unforgettable moments? New Image Media offers top-tier videography, photography, personal branding, and more. They combine creativity and quality with fair pricing and friendly service so you get the results you want. Whether it's a business promo or special occasion, they bring your vision to life with quality you can trust. Choose New Image Media, where your image is everything. For more info, email media@newimagemiallc.com. Words have power. They connect, heal, and inspire. That's the mission at Better Watch Your Tone, LLC, founded by Toni B. Shelton. She's empowering through powerful poetry and prose, with hundreds impacted through speaking events, workshops, and 8 self-published books. Ready to honor the story within? Discover books and coaching at betterwatchyourtone.com. For event poetry or book writing support, email TonyShelton@gmail.com. Let's use our words to uplift. Better watch your tone. You've built a life worth celebrating. Now it's time to be seen. At Las Foto de Lance Photography, they don't just take portraits, they capture the fire in your spirit and the power in your presence. Whether you're reclaiming your confidence, owning your story, or stepping into a new chapter, Las Foto de Lance Photography creates luxury images that reflect the real you. Visit lasfotodelance.net or drop by their Harker Heights studio. Las Foto de Lance Photography, unapologetically you, immortalized.
Hello, this is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Heritage Legacy Curators. You're looking for something for your kids to do this summer? Well, reach out to me at Impact Outreach, IMPAC Outreach at gmail.com, because Heritage Legacy Curators is all about collecting oral history. So if you have stories that you would love to pass down to your kids, or if you have a project that maybe your kids need to do as it relates to oral history, bring those family albums out and we'll sit there and we'll sort through those family albums, so that way we can collect those stories and keep those stories within the family, so that way they can be the next speakers to curate your family reunion. Hey, we're back with the lively art of the conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn. My goodness, we pass it along. Thank you to my underwriters that makes this show possible. And hey, if you have an idea for a show, or if you got a product out there that you're trying to move, or if there's something that you want to be a part of, reach out to us with the lively art of conversation. We'll be glad to bring you in the queue and have you be a part of it. So hey, like I do all the time with the lively art of conversation, we start off with the word of the day. And I'm going to tell you what the word is, because the word is a combo word, and it's befitting for my guest that I have here today. The word is manhood. That's it. Manhood. That is the word today. Now, some of you guys might be like stepping back and thinking, manhood, why is he using the word manhood? I'm going to tell you why I'm using the word manhood, because there's actually a shortage of men out there. Now, there's a lot of males that's out there practicing malehood, but not a whole lot of men that's out there practicing manhood in a general. So now I'm going to hit you with this quote. Man is all about spirit. And if you got the right spirit inside of the right boy, he will grow up to become a great man. That's right. Man is all about spirit. So if you have the right spirit inside of the right boy, he will grow to be a great man. So I'll leave you with this question for you guys today, dads, mom, or just young men that's living. Who are you attached to that is the epitome of manhood? Who are you attached to that is the epitome of manhood? And whoever they are, you need to be reaching out to them now, because there's a lot of work to be done in the community. So with that being said, I have a guest. To me, I'm just honored and flattered with this guest, because he is my younger brother. Well, he looks like my younger brother anyhow. He's my older brother. And when I use the word brother, a lot of people use it very loosely, but like, this dude right here is my brother. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've been running the streets of Newark, New Jersey with him all my life. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about my big bro, Mr. Jameel Sabree, man. Thank you for being on the show today.
And thank you, Rodney. And thank you for letting me speak here lively at the Art of Conversation.
Hey, man, I am glad that you're here, man. We're going to have to get down when I was hanging out with Red Man doing that Cypher, man, So, for you guys that don't understand the inside joke, this brother's truly from the city. I mean, I'm from the mean streets of Tulsa, Oklahoma. No, man, I always kid him, because Redman is one of my favorite rappers, man. Like I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I'm like East Coast to heart. I'm telling you, Yo MTV Raps and BET Rap City and all that really messed me up as a child, because I really wanted to go on the East Coast. I mean, I had my cardigan sweaters, I had my penny loafers, I was ready to get down, bro. Oh, y'all guys are like, what is the dude talking about, man? No, but man, it's an honor to have you on the show, man. Let's I know your story, but let's start off with, for people that don't know Jameel, like, this has not been the brother that grew up in Newark, New Jersey. He was a different brother. Let's talk about the infancy of you growing up in Newark, New Jersey. How did that look like, bro?
My beginning, and I say this humbly, I had a father, but my father walked out on my mom and us around about elementary school, I would say. Mm-hmm. And that started my journey without having a father. And just like you are articulating about Newark, and if anybody knows anything about Newark, it's hard out there. And when you're out there on your own, it's really tough. And I made a ton of mistakes. And if my father would have stood up then I don't know where I'd probably be at today. But that could be a bad thing and a good thing, because when I had my transition, it didn't happen until I was 25.
Wow.
And when I say I was out there with the best of them, I was. But what changed was my story. I used to tell this to the young privates that came to my unit when I was in the military. I was in a barbershop getting a haircut, and the dude that was in the chair, his name was Russell. Russell was 35. Russell was a veteran from the Marines, and he was struggling in life. And the conversation he was having with the barber was like, man, I should have stayed in. And for some reason, that stuck with me. Now, mind you, I'm out there with the best of them. But when I heard that conversation, as soon as I was finished with my cut, I went back to the National Guard unit I was assigned to, put in my paperwork to go back into the military full time. And once I made that decision, I cleaned myself up. And what I mean by cleaning myself up is I wasn't selling no more drugs. I wasn't using no more drugs. I was actually detoxing myself.
Wow.
The important thing about this part right here is what's lacking in some of our youth, the intestinal fortitude to see yourself out of situations.
Yes.
I'm extremely blessed in that regard, because that's what got me to where I'm at right now. So I'm still a boy at 25 because I didn't have that circle.
Yes, definitely.
So the importance of today and even my journey is that I think, let me rephrase that. I know what am I supposed to be doing. And that's reaching out to these young men. Because even with the ones that do have fathers, they still get sidetracked. But as you stated, if we don't take care of our young men spiritually,
Definitely.
we've lost them.
Definitely.
We've lost them.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. I learned from a brother years ago that it's never an attack on the body; it's always an attack on the soul and the spirit. So, and what you're putting out is what's greatly needed in the community, because right now we got a lot of soulless males running around our community. That have. It's kind of funny, like when you listen, and of course, all fun and games aside, I am not from the streets. But when I've listened to guys like yourself talk from the street, even the street dudes had respect for elders in churches and mosques and different things like that. They knew that there was a holy ground or a grail that, we can't do this here. We have to go down the block. Nowadays, it's happening in the church, outside the mosque, whatever the case may be. And people are not respecting the elders in the process of it, and that has a lot to do with us being detached from the men in our community.
As much as you said that, and it struck me really hard because I was just recently home. So when I go home to Newark, and I don't think Rodney articulated this, but I'm 62 years young. I don't look it.
No, we don't.
So when I go home and see my people are still the same. They're still in the same situation. They still struggling to find self.
Yes.
And I look back at myself and say, I made it. But I made it because of me, not because of my father.
Yes.
So full circle, I'm not trying to be no one's father, but a mentor.
Yes.
Because that's what's needed out here. I have 3 sons, and one of them, unfortunately, is incarcerated because of choices that he has made, not because I didn't stand up as a father.
Yeah.
And so when I say this to you, and I think you know this personally, this hurts me deeply with this one because he has a father.
Yeah.
And we can't wrap our heads around it as men. Why, when you have your sons in a great place, but they still gravitate to, and I'm holding up a cell phone, and I'm holding up a cell phone, and I'm holding up a cell phone. I'm not holding up a book.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and for that, one thing that I can say just based off your story, like you had no example to follow. You had a lot of negative examples, but I think with you going into the military and being around a lot of positive, like-minded men, you begin to tap into some of the greatness that you have in you. Because there's a lot of guys that I've met, you've introduced me to, and say, hey, this was one of my old soldiers, you know, and they have turned around and said, no, man, he's like a father to me. Yeah, he's like a father. So it's amazing that what you were lacking, people was able to pick that up from you just based off the man that you are.
That is a straight fact. As I was going into my history, when I went into the military, and I'm a retiree now, and as Rodney was articulating here, I have reached a lot of young men, and they still stand up for me right now, as you were saying. And I was just talking to one yesterday. He just called and checked on me. And as you notice, I'm humble about all of this because I was just doing what I wanted to have done to me as a father.
Yes.
And that was the important thing. And these young men, they are thriving in this community. Thriving. And as we move forward with the notion of manhood, trust and believe, you'll be hearing from these young men.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. That is a fact.
Because there is a need out there. This is the way that I look at it. You know, the same way you put the emphasis on sports and all the camps and all the things that you have, and we need to have some life skills camps that's out there for a lot of these boys: how to dress, how to talk, how to walk, and how to be a man. And here's the thing, because people always think you got to be perfect to be a man. That is the least bit, man, boy, I'm telling you, we make errors every single day. But it's not about the errors that you make, it's what you learn from them and how you can move forward with those errors. And there's a lot of these kids, they need realistic men. I always say this, you know, because I had a disagreement with a young lady a while back talking about men suck and all this other different stuff and they no good or whatever. It ain't no perfect man out there. And I said, you absolutely right. I work at the VA. So when peer support come by, those are substance abusers talking to another substance abuser on how to get out of the hole that they in. Sometimes you need men that are imperfect to teach other men how to get out of the hole that they're in. And that's why I appreciate what you're saying, because it is definitely some life skill camps that need to happen here in our community or just around the world. Because we're when they talk about zombie land, they're talking about manhood.
and to your point, I went to the barber to get tightened up for you today.
Okay.
The barber that was cutting my hair was 35 years old. In the waiting area was his kids. He had 5 of them. He went to school with my daughter. Now, the crazy thing about this story is that it's the truth. He was good in football at Shoemaker.
Wow.
And I said to him, what happened? Man, them streets out here got me. And I said, man, where your dad at? man, I just wasn't trying. I wasn't trying to hear him. And just the look on his face said enough, because he wished he could turn it back.
Yeah.
But the important thing that he did say, and that I'm going to share with you, is that I have 3 sons. I'm going to show them what my father didn't show me.
Wow.
And I looked at him. I said, bro, you there. That's another one. I just met him. Now, my 2 sons, they get his hair cut by him.
Yeah.
So the irony behind that, just a couple of days ago, he had seen me spazzing out because I thought I lost my credit cards. But he knew that those sons of mine were mine because the way they was carrying themselves, conducted themselves. And even when I came into the shop where he worked, and my son sat up, oh, that must be your father. But I would love to bring this brother out.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's another young man, 35 out. He's 35 years old, and he still need a father. Because the crazy thing, what this brother said to me, he don't even know how to change a tire.
Wow. Yeah, that's
35 years old.
yeah. Yeah, those basic life survival skills that we need to change a tire, change oil.
Don't know how to do that.
Yeah, cut grass, different things like that. That is like totally missing. And I always tell, I was joking around with somebody the other day, and the lady overheard. I was talking to this young man, and I said, man, the most sexiest thing you can do for a woman is do some type of manual labor. And the lady said, oh, yes, he ain't lying, because I love to see a man cut the grass and the way she looked. Because that is just embedded into us, even as a young boy, if you're with a mother and she's a single mother in a single household, she automatically sometimes just expected for you to figure it out, because you're a man. Because this is the way the world is kind of positioned. But what we're finding now is more women working and more guys at home.
And when you talk about figuring it out, that's been me.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, and not trying to put Rodney on the spot.
Oh, Lord, I'm in trouble.
He's one of those individuals in my circle, because I only have 3. And going forward with manhood, you are going to have strong men in your circle that you can lean on.
Definitely.
Because you cannot do this by yourself. And especially for the young men today who basically don't have a foundation.
Yeah.
Because the other conversation is finances.
Oh, man, you ain't lying about that.
What makes a man is not what he carries between his legs.
Definitely.
It's going to the bank and taking care of business.
Most definitely.
Taking care of the roof over your head.
Mm-hmm.
Paying the bills.
Definitely.
Making sure everybody that is in your household can eat. Making sure you got a steady job.
Yep.
That's manhood. The other manhood is not manhood because there's no thought process.
No, it's not. It don't take much. Trust me.
There's no thought process. So there's a lot of work that's out there to be addressed. And as I stated to you before we came on, my thought process right now is to try to help other young men.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not in front of 30 and 40 soldiers anymore, but I still have tentacles and I have some knowledge.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we have these young men that I help raise. They here. Mm-hmm. And if I call for them, they're going to be here.
Yeah,
Trust
definitely.
and believe that.
Definitely.
And you already know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I say at this, there is a need. I mean, like when I say a need, I'm talking about like food need, like hunger need that are out there because guys are like it. And one thing that I do know, like with the kids in the detention center, I bring a sense of discipline and structure with me And all boys need discipline and structure. And if you don't think they do, why do you think they play football and basketball? It's discipline and structure in sports. There's normally a man, and he's very aggressive and in your space, and he calls you out on everything that you do wrong. And your job is to process this and try hard enough not to make those mistakes. So what we need to do is we need to transfer that over into just real life skills. So if a man is in your face and he's telling you what you're doing is wrong, and how you're doing it is wrong, you should take the time to reevaluate yourself and try to apply a lot of what they're telling you, because it's no different than sports. It's no different than sports, and I tell people that all the time. A lot of coaches that are out there, and I do know coaches that do good job, but I think we need to instill more value within some of those kids outside of the sports arena, because sometimes kids are just good to play sports, but when they're outside of the sports, guess what? They're doing all types of stuff. Right. Trust me. Yeah, I've been around them. I see them. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So definitely. So this is Rodney Ducky, and you're watching The Lively Art of Conversation, and we'll be right back. Hey, we're back with The Lively Art of Conversation. If you guys got a show in mind, if you got a product that you're trying to sell, if you guys just want to be an underwriter or be a part of The Lively Art of Conversation as far as a commercial, reach out to us at livelyartofconversation@gmail.com. That's right, livelyartofconversation@gmail.com. And we are back with my big brother, Jameel Sabree. Jameel Sabree talked about his life growing up in Newark, New Jersey without a father. And his focus that he's saying, what he's putting out right now in the world, is he's trying to bring back and instill manhood within the kids. But before we jump into anything else, I would like to take a moment to talk about your 20 plus years you spent in the military. I mean, because from a young man that left Newark, New Jersey, street dude, to going in and giving the last 20 years of your life to devoting to our country to make us safe. It's not even the fact that you made the country safe and better. It's the fact that you made the men that were up under you better men for society once they got out. Talk to me about your service.
My service actually started when I left my first duty station in Germany. I was in Germany from 1989 to 91. My first duty station was in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. It was an artillery unit. And what I learned then is what sticks with me today of brotherhood and camaraderie. I built a brotherhood, and now it's a manhood with 6 men right now. We still keep in touch with each other. We still check in on each other. But that road, it was difficult because, again, I didn't have anybody to bounce any of my ideals off of. And coming from the street, I wasn't too friendly with a lot of dudes. So, in order for me to open up to you, I really have to like you. Mm-hmm. The adjustments that I had to make personally was to be able to be quiet. Because one of the things, a lot of the folks were younger than me. I was like 8, 9 years older than half these folks. Like one of my first line supervisors was this young lieutenant. And he used to talk to me sideways. And I used to kind of catch myself like, hey, man, why you keep talking to me like that? Do you realize? Da, da, da. So I did a lot of growing within. But the leadership that I took away from was from some great people. And the natural part of me caring for these young men is because I knew their story.
Yeah.
And it just resonated with me. And mind you, along this path, my last 5 years was probably the most difficult because of, some of the presidents that we had took us over to Iraq a couple of times. And I lost some people that I was really, really close to. The one that sticks out to me the most is the young man named Sergeant Goutreau. He was a hell of a soldier, but he wanted to be like Sergeant Sabree. So at this particular juncture, I have risen to the ranks of Sergeant First Class, and my duties and responsibilities had shifted. Whereas I wasn't down with the guys anymore. I was up in the White House, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I would always venture out to see my soldiers. Well, anyway, I was everything to this young man. He just liked the way I took care of business, how I carried myself. Particular mission came up. My name was mentioned to go out on his mission. And I was told by my first line supervisor, who was a light colonel, and then my second line supervisor was the brigade sergeant major. We don't need you to go. I need you here. And as soon as that was said to me, my young protege said, I'll go in your place, Sergeant Sabree. I got it. And I just looked at him. I said, no. Then my supervisor said, no, he can go. Fast forward, he didn't make it.
Yeah.
He didn't make it. But I feel good in the sense that all the training that I helped him with, it helped him. It helped his family. But what it helped me with even going forward is that how much I have an effect on these young men.
Yeah.
And that's, at the end of the day, that's what I really got out of it. And as I transitioned from the military, I still find myself looking after young men.
Yeah.
And it's just something I can't get away from. And I really come to grips with, because I didn't have my father.
Yep.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And, I have some quiet ideas that I share with you, but they're going to be quiet for now. But it's cooking up here. And the crazy thing about this is cooking at 62.
Yeah.
So we never too old to learn.
Yeah.
Because as men, we evolve, we grow, we learn. And like you put it so clearly, we make mistakes.
We do.
We make mistakes because we're not perfect.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And I'd say this. I know. New media image over there is going to throw the camera at me, but I think mistakes for women are just forgiven easily. A woman can make a mistake and it's forgiven easily, but boy, when we make mistakes, it's echoed. It is echoed throughout the community. Everybody knows you gotta walk the hall of shame as a man, sometimes, and sometimes I don't get it. And I've been, how can I say it, consoled by probably more women based off my mistakes than men, because men are the type of person, man, they'd say, man, you lost, you're a loser, instead of saying, you know what, bro, I've been right where you at, man. You're going to be all right. Get back up on your feet. We got to do a better job at like corralling around our own people and huddling
Absolutely.
up and having that formation and telling them, man, you done a good job. And there's a lot of things that we need to do better so we can win in manhood. But, man, we should not have to walk the hall of shame getting rotten tomatoes thrown at us, And I think that happens a lot with men, in our society and things like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying those, there's some men that probably deserve it because they are mean and nasty and very selfish. But I'm talking about the ones that are out there just trying, just trying to put a good foot forward to take care of their family and do the right thing, because it's hard out in this world.
I want to touch on something. And I don't hear this enough. Even for my own self, there's no accolades. There's no accolades that I hear enough. Like if my father or my grandfather was around, like, come here, boy, let me talk to you. Negro, I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how I would feel if I heard my father say that to me.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know how to feel.
Yeah.
There are probably 3 people that have acknowledged me. One of them is you, and the other 2 is a therapist, and the other young man is the godfather of Colleen, Baba Tunde.
Mm.
I have never been received or given the praise of my accomplishment. You know, one of the other accomplishments that I don't never talk about, I got a Bronze Star.
Yeah, you do, man.
They don't get those away.
No, they don't. They
don't get those
That's
away.
earned.
That's earned. And I ain't going to talk about it. I'll let you read about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, but we don't get that. And I definitely haven't got that. So I'm saying to you, thank you.
No, man. No, I can say based off of our relationship, when I say the word big brother, you've been there for me at some very difficult times in my life where I say, what are you calling me for? And I'm talking to you about something else. Bro, you know what I'm calling you about. You know what I'm calling you about. No, I don't know what you're, man, come on. How you doing? What's going on?
Right.
It's okay. You told me it's okay, bro. It's okay. It's all right. I'm following you. You're gonna get through this. You know, I'm praying for you. I'm here for you. You know, if you need to talk, I'm here. I hit you up in a couple of days. I don't want you to think that you're going to go through what you're going through alone. You got support. And I appreciate that. It means a lot to me, the fact that you reach out. Because I don't get a lot of people to reach out to me like that. When my phone rings, people are asking me, I need you to do something for me. Now, how you doing? How your mama? How your kids? Oh, can you do whatever you can do for me? You know, so, and I get that. I get that a lot from a lot of people, you know. Sometimes I got to correct them. I say, let's have just a human conversation right now. Let's exchange. Let's test the water. But for you, I appreciate that. And Baba Tunde is another one as well, too. Matter of fact, he's just texted me recently like, I haven't heard from you in a week. What's going on?
Right.
You know, so I do appreciate that. Your wife is another one. She has reached out to me before, normally because she nosy. So I'm not nosy.
Next.
brother, how you doing? So yeah, but no, I have that small circle, but it's real important for us to be able to reach out to one another, you know. So I want to talk to you about something, and I want to talk to you a little bit about faith and religion. You're a Muslim. A lot of people know, a lot of people don't know. But what was the I wouldn't say the reason, what drew you to the Islamic faith?
So, buckle up. 1988. I was walking down South Orange Avenue in Newark, and I went to a local mosque, got to the front door, turned around. I turned around because I didn't have nobody push me. Meaning I couldn't turn around and say, hey, Dad, I went to the mosque. What you think? I didn't have it, so I didn't walk through. 1989, 1990, I met this young lady in Germany. She just so happened to be a Muslim. And the brother that was like, sort of like chaperoning her, overseeing her, he wouldn't let me talk to her unless I was a Muslim. So I took my shahada. Just so I could talk to her. Now, the serious part about it is that I took my shahada, but I didn't know nothing about the religion.
Okay.
What I can tell you about the religion today at 62 is that we need spirituality in our lives.
Definitely.
we need to know as men that there's a higher being there if we commit to him.
Yes.
Because you can have these conversations like we are having right now, but if you don't take time out to thank your Lord for waking you up
Yes.
every day and giving you the strength to push on, you're doing yourself an injustice. That's a great thing to even incorporate that as well, because that spirituality, right now, that's what's got me hanging on.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because there's more to my story. Can I go?
Yeah, go right ahead, brother.
Just last year, I lost my 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm not over it. But if it wasn't for my spirituality keeping me grounded and focused and reminding me it's going to be all right, what I do for myself is I go visit my daughter.
Yeah.
Every month, I go visit her. Clean her sight, have a conversation with her, tell her I'll talk to her later, and I'll see you next month. In the same breath, I had cancer.
Yeah.
All this last year. The only reason I'm staying afloat because I've dedicated my faith to my Lord.
Yes.
I get up first thing in the morning and I'm praying. I got to. I'm not talking about nobody else. I got to. As a man.
Yeah.
Because when we check out, we by ourselves.
Yeah, we are. We are.
We are by ourselves. So as we try to help our young men, I don't care what walks of spirituality they're in, but you got to be thankful and be mindful. Just think about the opportunity that's being in front of you, like myself or you talking to you.
Yeah.
You have to be open enough to say, man, I got to be a sponge right now because
Definitely.
what I've been working on ain't been working.
Yeah.
And these brothers are just wanted me to hang out. I'm in, Rodney.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Definitely, man. And I would say this, and it's going to make him laugh. Boy, I've been waiting outside the mosque for him to come out before. I said, boy, he having a one-on-one with God right now. He comes out the boss like, dude, what you doing out here? Man, I'll wait for you to come out the boss, man. Shoot. Yeah, man. But that brother, I tell you what, and you know, to go back to the moment of my dear niece passing away, I tell you the community of people in your faith was so strong, because talking to your imams that showed up, and it was it was beautiful. Everybody was there to catch everybody.
Facts.
Nobody was gonna fall.
No. Yeah. In the other part, the beauty of the janazah is what we call it in Islam, is that the women are able to do a part, and then the men are able to do the part. And I'm going to speak on the men's part, because that particular day, my back was jacked up. And those who were there knew my back was jacked up. I might have been cute, green, pink, looking like a Sora, but my back was hurting. And as we were placing my daughter into the grave, my oldest son, Jameel, was struggling. The weight had dropped on him, and he couldn't move down in there. And I said, Jameel, I need you to hold on, bro, because I can't get down there. But I had to help my son out because he was struggling.
Yeah.
I had to get down there, take over, and position my daughter the way she needed to be presented, whisper the things that she needed to be whispered in her ear, and come up out of there. Because as you seen, when I came up out of there, I was done, man.
Yeah, you were, man.
I was spent. I had nothing else. And from that point on, if my circle has been keeping me afloat.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't have to talk to you every day.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just go check in. Hey, Dig Dog, what's going on, bro?
Yep.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to walk around and hold my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Just check in.
Check in.
And what's so crazy about what I'm about to say, my own sister has not checked on me, and she's 63 since my daughter has passed.
Wow.
But the brotherhood and the manhood is what is needed.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm telling you, for us to all come together, and there was so many people that were there, that was there to support. You had soldiers that were there, people from the community that was there. The Islamic faith was there, Christians were there. Everybody was there, partaking in this because this young lady has touched everybody's life. And just a story, that I would share is your wife, when it comes to her kids, she don't play. Mm-hmm. But the fact that your wife and you trust me to take your kids to Oklahoma meant the world to me. It really did. It meant the world to me. And to give them that experience of being in Oklahoma and taking them down Greenwood and just letting them be kids, have the time of their life meant a lot, just meant a lot seeing them, even in my house that I grew up with, my mom frying chicken and cooking for them and just having the time of our life. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, time of our life. Now, my daddy didn't like everybody's in a long line at the bathroom because he worried about the water bill. So, my daddy be on that water bill, boy. My dad's like, leave, boy, those boys be using that bathroom. But we had a good time there, and I really enjoyed it. It was a good trip, and I got to know your kids a lot better. And one thing that I would say from Mrs. Dunn, one of the elders that's there, and then my mom and my dad, very well-mannered children is the way my dad put it. Very respectful. Very, very respectful. I think it was Jahari that helped my mom wash the dishes. She's like, no, ma'am, I have this. My mama taught me how to do this. I know what I'm doing, So Jahari was helping my mom wash the dishes. I was like, man, what are you trying to do, man? My mama had to fuss at me, But your kids had a good time. Your daughter had a good time, and I appreciate that. So, hey, this is Rodney Duggan. You listen to the Lively Art of Conversation, and we'll be right back.
Words have power. They connect, heal, and inspire. That's the mission at Better Watch Your Tone, LLC, founded by Toni B. Shelton. She's empowering through powerful poetry and prose, with hundreds impacted through speaking events, workshops, and 8 self-published books. Ready to honor the story within? Discover books and coaching at betterwatchyourtone.com. For event poetry or book writing support, email ToniShelton@gmail.com. Let's use our words to uplift. Better watch your tone. Looking to elevate your brand or capture unforgettable moments? New Image Media offers top-tier videography, photography, personal branding, and more. They combine creativity and quality with fair pricing and friendly service so you get the results you want. Whether it's a business promo or special occasion, they bring your vision to life with quality you can trust. Choose New Image Media, where your image is everything. For more info, email media@newimagemiallc.com.
Hello. This is Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation. As we live, we learn, we earn, and we pass that wisdom along. Join us every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. as we bring to you our story. You bring your story, we give you our story, and our story is how we engage in our community. Everybody has a story, and we're waiting to hear your story. So if you're interested, reach out to us at livelyartofconversation@gmail.com.
You've built a life worth celebrating. Now it's time to be seen. At Las Foto de Lance Photography, they don't just take portraits, they capture the fire in your spirit and the power in your presence. Whether you're reclaiming your confidence, owning your story, or stepping into a new chapter, Las Foto de Lance Photography creates luxury images that reflect the real you. Visit lasfotodelance.net or drop by their Harker Heights studio. Las Foto de Lance Photography, unapologetically you, immortalized.
This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Heritage Legacy Curators. You're looking for something for your kids to do this summer? Well, reach out to me at Impact Outreach, IMPAC Outreach @gmail.com. heritage.com, because Heritage Legacy Curators is all about collecting oral history. So if you have stories that you would love to pass down to your kids, or if you have a project that maybe your kids need to do as it relates to oral history, bring those family albums out and we'll sit there and we'll sort through those family albums, so that way we can collect those stories and keep those stories within the family, so that way they can be the next speakers to curate your family reunion. Hey, we're back with the lively art of conversation, where you live, you learn, you earn. My goodness, you pass it along. I am here with Mr. Jameel Sabree, and we unpacked a whole lot here. We talked about him growing up in Newark, New Jersey, joining the military, being not having a father around, and then also, his turn in the faith, and also losing a loved one that's very, very close to him. And as we begin to kind of like round everything out, I want to talk to him about his next moves in life. And he's been hinting around to some things that he wants to do. But what's this next move in life you've been hitting around to?
Well, as I came onto your set, sir, what has been coming to me over the last couple of weeks is trying to develop a website just primarily for Manhood. And I'm talking about it because I'm about to be about it here shortly. I want to be able to create a space whereas if your father isn't there or your circle isn't there, you can fall back somewhere and get pointed in the right direction. And what I mean by that, over the last 6 months, I would say, there's been, times that I really needed to talk to somebody, but they wasn't there. I.e. yourself, you're at work, I can't call you and talk to you at work. The imam that I talked to down in Austin, I'm gonna give him a shout out, brother Asim, the Austin Dawah team. And then there's one more brother that is in Georgia that I converse with. Whenever I can't get the three of you, I have to figure this out by myself. And that's the difficult part if you don't know what to look for or what you're looking for. So what I would like to do is educate our young men about ChatGPT.
Okay. All right.
And with educating them ChatGPT and incorporating an interactive like website geared around manhood, but it's geared around showing them and teaching them how to be a man, what entails of being a man. Not your anatomy or the female anatomy, what entails of being a man.
Yes.
So having folks like you as a link, other people I'm talking to, I'm going to bring all this to light.
Yeah, definitely. And that is something, again, I say that is needed. There's organizations out there and everybody does their different thing. But I think coming together with men coming together to deposit great seeds in the other men, I mean, you're going to have a lot of fruit to bear. And I really feel that is something that is needed in our community. And again, I can't stress this enough, is very needed. You know the work I do in the detention centers. Some of the problems that we have in the detention centers could be nipped in the butt with good fatherhood in the beginning. And I'm being honest with you. A lot of it is nipped in the butt with good fatherhood in the beginning, because it's just like anything else. If they practice something wrong, it feels right to them. When they learn something new that is the right way to do it, they still rely on doing the wrong things because it's just habitual, So, but to have something where people can reference and do things is an awesome thing. So. Yeah. So what's our timeline on this? What were you expecting? I know you threw some.
Well, I threw a spring out there to you. I'm hoping, and I'm just going to lean forward with it to have something in 2026.
2026. Okay.
And just be on the lookout, and I will keep you abreast, because I'm gonna need some insight. So
Oh, definitely. And there's a few organizations I'm going to link you to. Dr. Elizabeth Jennings, Boys Matter to Men. She just had like a little symposium not too long ago where boys were learning how to fix flat tires and change flats, and it was pretty cool. And then the It Girls with Aya and Nelly, they do several different workshops throughout the years, and they have men come talk to women. Really, the selection process. I say this is the big hit and miss thing. Most women will make a man mature very quickly, especially if the man want to be with the woman.
fact.
So I think sometimes it leans back on to the women too, to ensure that they're just not settling for whatever.
Right.
Don't settle for whatever if you're out there, young ladies. I don't care how attractive he is or whatever the case may be. Sooner or later, kids come along and you looking at it like, can you figure it out? No, baby, I've been waiting on you to figure it out, So being able to talk to the young ladies as well too. But I think the big selection process that we have right now, it is really just tightening up our shot group when it deals
Facts.
with boys.
Absolutely facts.
Yeah.
And it starts at the foundation of men.
Yeah, definitely.
You go out there, you lay down, you plant seeds, and then you're walking away.
Walking away.
And then like 10 years later, that young man is probably running after you because you ain't doing right as a father.
Exactly. Yeah, and you, I think me and you think of this the same. I mean, one of the greatest blessings that like the Creator has put upon me is the ability to be a father. I mean, there is no other blessing to just be a father. And I know I've made a lot of mistakes along the way being a father, but one thing that I do know about my kids, even though sometimes they dislike me with certain things, they always forgive me, and
Facts.
it's rebuilding that relationship and making it stronger. And as we begin to wrap up, is there anything that you want to say to the public, any wisdom that you want to pass along?
Life is short. And as young men walking in this space, specifically like right now, there's no more days of walking around with a swivel. They don't walk with a swivel no more. They walk with their hands on their phones and drive with their phones in their hands, walking around with ski masks. It's 95 degrees outside. There's a lot of work to be done, and we just have to do a better job of addressing them at where they are at.
Definitely.
That I believe that right there is essential, of meeting them where they're at. Not saying we're complying or just falling for that. No. Fact is, they spend a lot of time on these games, especially in front of the 55-inch TV.
Yeah.
Let's just replace it.
Yeah.
With the Manhood website.
That's it.
Interaction, learn how to drive, learn how to invest.
Yes.
Do you know how much money they would save if they just like $150 a month just going into an IUL?
Yeah.
Learning about stocks. I'm still mad at my father. I forgive you though. But not teach me about stocks.
Yeah.
If I'd have learned about stocks, right, I probably wouldn't be sitting next to you, Rodney.
I know you've been owning the place.
Yes.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Oh man, it has been a pleasure always, big brother. I'm glad that you reached out to me. I'm glad that you're in this space. And as we close this thing out, thanks to all my audience for being here. I just want to leave you with what we started out with right now. I know there's a lot of people that's out there. They got some child that just can't get it right. Just can't get right, as they say. But what it's all about is finding them a good mentor, finding them someone that they can connect with. And if you're a young man out there right now shaking your head, man, you can reach out to me, livelyartofconversation@gmail.com. I still do have a little men's chat group that we meet at his wife's restaurant. We've been doing that, every other Sunday, been working with the boys. Matter of fact, his son is an instructor. He teaches the boys how to cook out there, and he's a wonderful instructor, and the kids love him. So reach out to me if you want to meet Mr. Sabree here. I'll make that connection for you. We'll set something up. So if you guys are interested, please reach out. So, man, thank you once again for being here. This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn. My goodness, we pass it along. Thank you, guys.